Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the American Airlines Center here in Dallas, Texas, as Strikeforce and Showtime present a big night of MMA brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink. Well, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the cage with a record of 10 wins, 1 loss, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the heavy-handed striker from Tucson, Arizona, introducing Chad, the Grave Digger Briggs.
Chad Briggs 5-0 in his last 5 fights, and as he told us, Morrow, they just can't get rid of it.
No, that's right, and he has really turned into the Strikeforce prospects killer, having handed pro wrestler turned mixed martial artist Bobby Lashley his first loss. He's coming off a first-round TKO triumph over the highly touted John Valentijn. The Mud and Chop Sporting Good Old Boys MMA career is on fuego, but Frank, I don't anticipate his co-workers at the Tucson Fire Department racing to put this fire out.
I don't think so, but race is how Chad Briggs gets it done, and he's gonna have victory tonight by sticking to his key in the cage, and that's to set the pace. He swings for the fences, he goes for the victory, and he goes for the knockout. And if he keeps that up tonight in this fight, he's got a great chance of winning.
And now, with a record of 29 wins and 25 losses, from Amsterdam, please welcome the famed Golden Glory freestyle veteran, Valentijn the Python Overeem.
Valentijn Overeem, the older brother of the Strikeforce heavyweight champion, Alistair Overeem. Morrow, he has fought warriors over his career with wins over Randy Couture and Babalu Sobral, and he just keeps coming.
That he does. He's 4 years older than his brother Alistair. Introduced him into martial arts when Alistair was just 15. Out of his 29 victories, you talk about some of the big names that he's knocked off. He has 5 times the fighting experience of Briggs, and he feels that that will be the biggest advantage he has against the Gravedigger tonight.
I think experience is going to be a huge factor in this fight. And for Overeem, he's got to use the cage. That's his key tonight. He's got the experience. He knows what to do when he's deep into a fight. He's got to use the cage, use every angle. I think he pushes Briggs up in the cage, mauls him a bit, takes him down, and tries to finish him.
And that brings us to the tail of the tape for our first fight of the evening out of the heavyweight division. Valentijn Overeem versus the Gravedigger, Chad Briggs. And what jumps out at you, Frank Shamrock?
Well, the big number right here is the 76-inch reach of Valentijn Overeem. He's got 3 inches on him, and Valentine's going to use that in the stand-up to use the cage, in my opinion.
And the rules for this fight.
Well, this fight, 3 judges representing the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations will be presiding over each bout. They will score the fights using the 10-point must system. The winner of each round gets 10 points. The loser, 9 or less. Scoring is based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and cage control. There are no kicks or knees to the head of a grounded opponent. And tonight, all 5 fights will be fought under the unified rules of MMA and are scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Heavyweights in the cage. Time now for the official introductions. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
All right, fans, here we go. Heavyweights in the cage, scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the referee in charge of the action, Kerry Hatley.
Let's go. Let's get everything out, man. Okay, back up there a little bit for me. Back up there a little bit for me. Okay, gentlemen, let's get this show started. You ready to go? Ready to go? Let's go. Come on.
As the fighters touch gloves to begin, Frank, what should we expect to see in this one?
Well, Briggs is going to go for it, man. He knows no other style. That's all he's got. I mean, he's slowly learning the game, but it's all about power punching and swinging for the fences.
One thing I expect, Gus, this one probably will not go the distance. 28 of 29 wins for Overeem inside the distance, and all 10 wins for Briggs have come via stoppage.
I think Valentine's a better stand-up fighter, but Briggs is just dangerous because he doesn't care. He wants to win at all costs, and he's just going for it.
And as you mentioned, Morrow, his win over Bobby Lashley a rising prospect, was a very, very big upset victory for his career.
He had the bigger gas tank that night. And as we know, Frank, conditioning is everything in this sport.
Fatigue makes cowards out of men. Well, Briggs is using my key against Valentine there. He's got him in the cage, working on him solid.
A lateral drop by Briggs right into the half guard.
I've always wanted to be able to pull off that move.
And when the fight hits the ground, gentlemen, who does it favor?
That's a tough one. I mean, the experience would go in the corner of Valentine, but, you know, Briggs with jiu-jitsu training, especially being on top, he's good at controlling position. He's good at doing ground and pound.
The one knock against Valentine Overeem throughout his career is when he's been put in a dangerous position like this. At times, he's not the most mentally tough fighter, and at times there's, you know, you look at his record, he has 25 losses, and sometimes you wonder, does he have the mental toughness, does he have the focus and commitment to be the best that he can be? And he's going to face a test right here from Chad Briggs on top position.
And that's what Briggs told us. He said he thinks he can break him. He thinks he can ground him and pound him until he breaks.
There's the ground and pound from Briggs.
Valentine's turning his back. That's not how you want to deal with this.
Briggs, a lot of energy here. Hammer fist.
Whoa! Oh, wait a minute! I mean, again,
He wasn't defending.
he wasn't intelligently defending.
He wasn't defending himself.
Okay, all right. I'll save the diatribe then. It was a ground and pound victory for Chad Briggs.
And as the Gravedigger told us in our meeting yesterday, and as we said at the beginning of this fight, they can't get rid of him. He continues to win.
You know what? I'll say this as a compliment. He is the Strikeforce cockroach.
The takedown, though, for Briggs set everything up.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful salto here, and you see him falling backwards. He knew how to twist it, and I'm really surprised at that technique. That's an advanced technique right there, and he used his hips to throw him over in a great position. And Chad Briggs is not a guy you want on top of you.
70% on the ground, 28 of 40 in ground strikes.
And Morrow, he was not defending here. He is just covering up. He tried the front, tried the back. You saw him, Overeem went back, forth. He wasn't. Oh, he was
Actually
tapping.
I take it back. There you go. He
Morrow
actually
needs correction.
tapped to strikes, which, again, at this level of the sport, I don't know, Frank, you're the legend. Do you tap out to something like that?
Well, and maybe that heart is in question.
You have to question his heart.
So Briggs improves his record to 11-1. And let's go inside the cage again to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the time of 2 minutes 8 seconds in round number 1, our referee in charge, Kerry Hatley, stops the contest due to strikes. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, Chad the Gravedigger Briggs.
Actually, that should be via submission due to strikes. He tapped out.
And that will be his second submission win. Let's take a look at the statistics as the Gravedigger makes quick work of Valentijn Overeem.
Frank, the one takedown led to the finish.
That was it. He got top position, a beautiful throw, and then 66% of punches landed, and they all seemed to land right on top of Overeem's head.
The Gravedigger does it again as he exits the cage.
He's 3-0 now in Strikeforce. Well, lots of big stars out tonight in Big D. Antonio Silva awaits the victor of tonight's main event of the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix semifinals after that shocking win over Fyodor Emelianenko in the opening round of this Grand Prix. Miesha Tate will finally get her shot at becoming Strikeforce Women's 135-pound champion when she faces title holder Marlis Kunin July 30th just outside of Chicago. In attendance, big defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys, Igor Olshansky, enjoying the